AI in itself will not take your job, but I believe the person using AI will take your job.
Well,
So what I mean by that is any large language model by itself will not do anything. So if you use ChatGPT, if you use Claude, if you use DeepSeek, if you use Quen, if you use any of those in itself, it will not do anything for you. But the person that knows how to prompt properly
yeah.
will take your job, because if the person is putting together a proposal, a case study, a document, conducting research, because the person knows how to prompt and then knows the right LLM to get information or to do research, that person will take your job. The person that knows how to integrate different, what are the biggest challenges businesses are facing, founders, business owners, and all? Two key areas. One is their operations. How can we make them be more efficient? How can we make them be more streamlined and organized? The other was profitability. How can we make this business get more customers and be profitable? So, and this applies to any business. So let's break it down into an area that I'm very familiar with and I'm part of, which is the ecosystem, the tech ecosystem. If you are building your startup, you're in early stage, there are two key drivers for growth: usage and subscribers or money. So how many people are using your platform and how much are you currently generating? Those are the two key drivers. And that is what people put on their pitch. That is what people go to.
Honestly, it has always blown my mind that a very high percentage of you who listen to the show haven't yet subscribed. So could I just ask you for a favor before we start? If you like the show and you like what we do at Tech Journey with the Data Dude, and you want to support us, the free and simple way to do that is by hitting the subscribe button. My commitment to you is that if you do that, I will do everything in my power along with my team to make sure that this show gets better every single week. We will listen to your feedback and find a guest you want me to speak to and continue to do what we do. Thank you very much. Hello, guys. Welcome to the amazing show, Tech Journey with the Data Dude, where we share real stories and strategies from tech leaders making an impact. Today, who do we have today? We have a special guest who has been transforming how businesses grow through AI and ecosystem building. Joining us today is Emeka Ebeniro, a growth marketer and an AI specialist who has been, helping businesses increase profitability through proven AI system. Also, as a founder of Trillion Digital and program manager at Novate Hub in the UK. I'm very sure, like everyone in the UK, he has built an impressive track record of driving innovation in Scotland's tech scene and ecosystem. Please, everyone, welcome Emeka to Tech Journey with Leaders to podcast.
Thank you so much.
Emeka, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Data Dude. It's really an honor to be on your show. I've been following this show for a bit now, and the quality of the guests and the conversation is really good. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much for that. Let's go straight to the journey. Please, we want to talk about your early days and transition. Take us back to your early days at McLean World Group. What was young Emeka dreaming of achieving?
That's an interesting one. Back then in STB McCann, before I go to that, so my background is actually studied engineering at the University of Lagos, but I never liked it. I didn't like it. I didn't see myself as being an engineer. And the interesting thing was, back then, because you finished one of the tops in your class, they will tell you, oh, go to science, go to technical, go to commercial and all that. And then, I did well in the sciences, and the inclination was, oh yeah, you're good. Okay, why don't you go to sciences? Okay, go to sciences. I was good with technical stuff. Okay, why don't you be an engineer? Okay, next step, engineer. So why don't you be a chemical engineer? And the reason, why don't you be a chemical engineer? The interesting thing was, I think the backstory of being a chemical engineer, because one of my uncles worked in one of the top oil and gas servicing companies, and my mom was like, "Oh, you know what? You be like your uncle. You are smart. You can do it, and all that." So he was like, "Okay, fine, go and be a chemical engineer." I did well, and so would have it. I didn't get in for chemical engineering, and the next thing that was
Oh,
available for me was systems engineering. It was a new course at the
engineer.
time
Wow.
at University of Lagos. Systems engineering just
Wow.
came up. I was like, okay, what's it's like kind of like a hybrid type of engineering
Mhm.
course, systems engineering, systems analysis that has to do with analysis, computer, and all the work. So it was more like, okay, you're a hybrid engineer. You do a little bit
Yeah.
of this, a little bit of that. And okay, this sounds interesting. That's how I got into system engineering, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It's funny how starting off as a systems engineer and now doing AI today, uh,
Yeah.
but I didn't like it. And the next thing for me was I saw myself being passionate about um, communication, business,
Mhm.
management, and that's what led me into going into
Wow.
studying advertising, going to an advertising school. Back then was Orange Academy, and then getting my
Mhm.
first job as a I started off as a research analyst before I became a strategy executive at STB McCann. So that's my story.
Wow.
Engineering,
Wow.
moved to media and
Wow.
marketing, and now back to
Wow. 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 Well, was there a particular, dream that okay, you were looking toward like I would like to become this at that moment?
Yes, I would say back then was to just to be a successful engineer. There was no big dream at the beginning of my journey, but as I progressed into during my fourth year, so a lot of things changed for me during my fourth year. When was when we go for our IT, they call it CWIT. So
Yeah.
you go for IT,
Yeah.
industrial attachment, and that was when I kind of like understood that this is not engineering in the
Mhm.
sense of it of going to the site, installation and all that
Yeah.
wasn't your thing. You are more of a people person, people facing person, more of, communication,
Wow.
management, and, a little bit of technical side, but more of the software technical side, not the hardware technical. So it was after that experience, I decided that, you know what, I need to go and find who I really am and what I want to do. And that was the point where I started getting myself deep into entrepreneurship, started reading books about, I think that was, is it Jimo Ibrahim, one of the founders of energy, petroleum, reading books about Fela Duro Toye,
Yeah. I've heard it
Ali
already.
Baba, Tony Lume. I
Mhm.
began to read books and follow their journeys and like, okay, how did these guys discover who
And
they
they did
were?
it.
How did they transition? What did they, and that was where my vision, okay, you know what? I think I need to start dreaming of having my own conglomerate that would be in several
Wow.
countries around the world. And so that was from that
Wow.
point in my life, I decided to like, I need to change my career pattern. That's where the whole 360 started. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Then you made a significant move from Nigeria to Scotland. What prompted that decision, and where were those, that early days, early few months, really like in the UK?
I would say it was a combination of two things. One,
Okay.
my wife wanted to pursue her master's and she
Okay.
wanted a new environment. Two, I was like, okay, if we've done it in Nigeria, then we can do the
Yeah, I
same
can do it. Okay.
in Scotland, and that was what got me interested in this journey. I wouldn't
Mhm.
lie, Scotland was not my first choice, but Scotland
Tell
was.
me about it.
So the process of you apply to several schools. The first to get back to
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
you get your cast and all that.
Okay.
So we applied to several schools. One in Newcastle that had a campus in London, one in Lincoln, and then
Okay.
RGU in Scotland. And for it, the way it just happened was RG was the most responsive and he
Massive
got back
waves.
to us. It was the course you needed. Everything else kind of like
Understand.
ticked all the boxes. You're like, okay, fine. If this ticks all the boxes, let's go to RGU. And shortly after we had decided to go to RGU, made the payment and started the process, the others now got back to us and like,
That's
okay,
oh yeah.
like, oh, sorry, man, we've already go with RGU and everything. So
Wow.
that was it because I didn't know much about Aberdeen, much about Scotland. And the default knowledge is if you're going to the UK, you want to be in or around London. And that was
Yeah.
pretty much the default choice. But as so life has it, RGU called us, Scotland called us, and we got to Scotland. The early years, the early days, it wasn't easy. I have to be completely honest because you tend to overlook the relationship you built back home in your home country in Nigeria, the level I was in my career, the things that I did, business, and all the other things and the community I'd built, it was different than coming to the UK. You're trying to figure out what best shoe or hat should I wear. So I give a backstory beyond what I do in technology and all that. I'm also a passionate trainer. I do train and coach and I did that back home in Nigeria where I'll teach and train organizations, train institutions, individuals, and things like that. But trying to take that verbatim and copy and paste it here wasn't easy. Like, okay, the training landscape, the coaching consulting landscape, it's a little bit different. It's not as what we have back there where yes, this is a trainer, we can bring him on board to help us with our learning and development. It's a little bit different. So I had to unlearn that way and find ways of, learning how it's done here. Same could be said about several other things. Back home, if you are a professional, you're most likely wearing several hats. You are a very good generalist and specialist at the same time because the job demands that you know things well. But over here, generalists are not really accepted. They're not really hired. They want specialists. Oh, if you're in data, you're in data. You can't say you are a technical someone that is also in data. No, it's very different. They don't see it that way.
Yeah.
So it's one thing I had to learn. I said, okay, fine. If that's the case, then I had to like streamline and say, okay, this is the core area that I want to be known for. So it took some time to understand the system, what is required, how your skill sets can be seen and matched and say, oh, yes, this person actually knows what they are doing and they'll be the right fit for us. So it wasn't easy. We're still on the journey. We're still growing and all that. So that's it's been the
Yeah.
case.
That's fantastic because I know when you mentioned that it wasn't easy. So I'm very sure there must be a lot, racking your brain that, okay, I went to this, I went to this, because for every immigrant, everything that we went through and everything that we were going through, that's what makes our journey unique. You understand? Because that's what I do tell people. No matter the phase that that you are in your life currently, don't worry, it will be over very soon. Then you get to another phase. So I know that for an immigrant to gain a voice in a foreign country, it can be an easy task. Can you share us how you were able to gain a voice, in the tech ecosystem in Scotland? Because I'm very sure most people know Emeka. And so how did you achieve that in Scotland?
Okay. It was, I would say it's been an interesting journey because it wasn't an intentional action like, oh yeah, I'm going to come to Scotland and do this, but it was more or less second nature. So, like I said earlier, coach, I trained, I worked as a project manager and also worked in the capacity of being a trainer and also helping in learning and development. And because of that, and I'm also a speaker, so I speak at conferences and events. I'm
Yeah.
also hosting one myself. So that's nature in me to have, visibility, now branding, communication, people skills really helped me. And bringing that over here, I wouldn't say it was easy for me to navigate, but it was kind of like I had the right foundation to start building my network and building my brand and also being a contributor into the ecosystem. And one thing I've learned, and my very good friend Franklin Oluwaseun, the head of Startup Grind in Aberdeen, would always say, what would you do for your country? So it's all about what are you going to
I
do?
love
Yeah,
I love that one. You know what? He taught me while I was in Futa.
awesome.
Because like people we are like water, we can meet anywhere, you
Yeah,
know, unexpectedly. You can meet anybody. Just do good because you don't know who you will meet tomorrow. Yeah,
exactly.
you know.
He's an amazing man. Sorry for cutting you through. I
No
just
problem, no
remember that
problem.
guy.
That's he's really a great guy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
was pretty much the motto for me. What am I going to do for Scotland? What am I going to do for
Hmm,
Aberdeen? What am I going to do for Glasgow, for Edinburgh, for Inverness, and all for Stirling? And that has been what has been my drive in terms of anywhere I find myself. I always give in my best. Like, okay, even if I don't know, which is something that it's not an excuse, but it's the reality. You don't know it all.
hmm,
You know, the ecosystem here in Scotland or in the UK is different. The people are different. The culture is different. The operation is different. But because I do not know it today, doesn't mean I won't know it tomorrow. Or because I'm not doing it the way you want me to do it, which is a question of systems. I don't understand your systems and your know-how.
hmm.
Doesn't mean I won't understand your systems and know-how tomorrow. So that's something that I've learned, and I'm like, okay, fine, this would really help me. And I kept going out, started build my network, trying to help people. And look at it today. You say, who doesn't know
Yeah,
Emeka? So
yeah.
that it's for me, I would just wrap it up and say that it is about giving back. Once you have the mindset of giving back and helping, it would always pay you back in return. So it's like paying forward, you get it back in return.
What you said about giving back is very important, especially for immigrants, because majority of we immigrants, what majority of us always look after is what will I gain? Understand? But once we start thinking, okay, how can I even give back to this, like to where I am? That will shape our mindset, okay, what we can actually do. And also by doing that, we will get better and it will become a mutual benefit also because as you are giving back in one way or the not in one way or the other, nature will also give back to you.
Yeah.
You understand? That's just the number principle. But it's very rare to see people doing that. And you're one of them like I've interviewed so far. Thank you very much. Most people that are actually making waves in the tech scene in the UK, that's what they're actually doing. They are doing one thing or the other, allowing them to give back to the community.
Yeah.
And that is fantastic. So let me drive back to your evolution. In your story, there is a fascinating transition from traditional marketing to AI and growth. How did that happen? Tell me, because it's in two different directions. So how did that happen?
Okay, so it's quite an interesting story. I worked in marketing communications for a few years, and I think it was about 2015 or 2016. We had this opportunity of being part of the organization wanted to train a few people on digital marketing.
Okay.
I started stepping into digital marketing, understanding it. But for me, what made me say this is the right path was the data. And I give an example. Measuring and getting insights was becoming difficult. How do I mean? In marketing back then, you do your, user persona, you build your strategy. A lot of these things don't have very precise data. There's a level of estimation, there's a level of assumption. So you're building a strategy for example, telecom. I did a lot of telecom project. Telecom, and you're saying this is the ideal customer profile. This person is a 22-year-old that does this and does this and does that. This person will most likely be doing this. And so you're building your ideal customer profile so that the communication meets that person. But the question is, you really don't have a lot of data to back up this assumption. That's number one. Number two, the personas which we've seen now, it's not just age specific, it's more of behavior and interest.
Hmm.
And data will give you that. So let me give an example. You could be in your early 20s and have the same behavior and interest as someone in their 40s.
That's true.
You could be in your 50s and still have interest and behavior as someone even in their 60s or their 30s or their 20s. So the point is, it's about interest, behavior. Those are stronger, and the psychology of the
Hmm.
audience. Those are stronger parameters
Hmm.
for you to design
Hmm.
a good product or for you to design a
Hmm.
great campaign. But you don't have that in traditional marketing. And that was like, okay, you know what? I've experienced digital marketing. This is one area because in digital marketing, you can come up with data. The analytics is there to help you. You run ads, you have analytics, you have behavior, you have engagement from your audience. So I give an example because I, as a growth marketer, this is what I do almost every other
Yeah.
day. You run a campaign, or you're managing a page, or you are doing some form of consulting or auditing. You will see that for every ad you run, or for every page you manage, there most likely would be reoccurring themes around conversations, around
Yeah.
inquiries, around things like that. That is the insight that we back then we needed to build a very good campaign. So let me bring it home. If you run an ad and people say, "Oh, how do you use this product?" Or, "Oh, the last time I used something similar to this is what happened." Those are insights
Mm.
that you can gather and say, "Okay, how many people talked about this specific feature or this benefit or this category? Maybe we need to take this and then add it to our next campaign or add it to our next communication, or look at the insight and say, based on what we ran, who is responding to this the most? Is it this
Mm.
age category? Is it this location? Is it this interest?" So with that, you can now plug it back into your ad platform, if it's Facebook, Instagram, whichever ad platform you're using, and you can now run ads based on that interest, not just the age group, because now you have better insights that, oh, this is,
Everything.
yes, this is what the audience wants. This is what they resonate to. The same thing for content. You create a content, the content gives you insight. You can take that content and run it as an ad. It's so that was what interests me. Like, okay, you know what? Data is, I'm not a data analyst and all that, but although I do tap into data, but I can't claim that I'm a data analyst. I do understand data analysis and I do it every day, but I don't want to take a data analyst job. But I can tell you that with the right type of data, you would get the right insights. And with this insight, you can now
Mm.
improve on your communication. You can now improve your product development. You can even improve on your startup or whatever you're doing. So that was what led me, into going into more data. And after that, the next logical step was AI.
Mm.
AI would speed up the rate of analyzing that data. AI will speed up the
Yeah.
rate of getting the insight. AI will speed up the rate of putting all this together, and that was the next logical step for me because I'm all about performance, efficiency,
Yeah.
growth.
Wow.
That's been the journey for me.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go through the challenges and your growth over the years. You have, because I know that you have worked with diverse companies from CVWA to founding Trillion Digital. What has been your biggest professional challenge so far?
Wow. That's an interesting question. That's a very I would say, okay, there's this one of these quotes that I learned, and it goes this way. It says, "A confused mind never makes any progress."
Hmm.
A confused mind never makes any progress. And that for
Okay.
me I would
Hmm.
say has been one of my biggest challenges. I cannot progress as fast as I want to if I don't have clarity, if I'm not willing to take that action,
Hmm.
afraid, like they say, just be blind, just take it. And that has been one of my biggest challenges. Coming from Nigeria to the UK, deciding on the hats I want to wear was one of my biggest challenges. Do I call myself a data person? Do I call myself a digital marketer? Do I call myself a project manager? Do I call myself, so it was just a lot because back home, your job will require that you wear these different hats to get your job
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So if you work in marketing, and for us that work both traditional and digital, you were the project manager and you still had to do some digital marketing work, even if there is a project. So yes, because that's how it does. The company wouldn't pay you, and say, no, no, you would still do some digital marketing things. So you're running a big campaign, that's a project. You're managing the team, the copywriters, the art directors, and all that.
Yeah.
You are the person at the middle managing all that, and also the client expectation. It doesn't mean that you would not also be involved in some form of digital marketing as well. So now taking that experience of you being able to manage the team, run the project, and also the digital marketing as well as part of your KPIs and your job description, and you come to an organization, a different climate that says, okay, we just want you to be the digital marketer, or we just want you to be social media manager. Like, okay,
Hmm.
okay, how do I? So that was one of my biggest challenge in terms of
Wow. Wow.
getting the clarity to streamline and communicate effectively what I'm really good at. And this also meant that I had to say I am not going to do these other things. For each time you say yes, you're saying no to something else. So
Yes.
it was a lot, and the mindset, you just go and people say, just submit your CV, any job, just get any job, just get any job, just get any job. So the question is, when you just get any job, that any job is most likely going to direct your career path, because you can't say, I started off as this and now I want to move into this. So it's kind of
Hmm.
confusing. So
Yes. Yes.
that was one of my biggest challenge. The other challenge was, okay, now that you want to run as a contractor, you want to run your business as a contractor, organizations can hire you as a consultant or slash contractor, come in, do the work and move and all that. How are you going to go about it? That was another challenge that I faced, which was, okay, I've made up my mind. I want to be a contractor. This is what I do. How do I navigate the landscape? How do I, build, get into these networks? How do I help people solve their marketing and project management problems? And it was kind of an interesting one, because you are new in this environment. So how do you go about it? But over time, I have gotten to learn that, like I said, a confused mind never makes any progress. And also consistency is key. The more consistent you are in showing up, building your network, showing your results, and helping people, it would eventually open doors for you. So that has been, should I say, one or two of my biggest challenges moving from back home, coming here from a marketing background straight to a AI and digital space. So that will be it for me.
With these challenges that you have mentioned, how did you now navigate through that period?
It was a case of writing so many CVs, attending so
Hmm.
many
Interviews.
interviews, joining groups, and I would say platforms like BPU have been of great
Hmm.
help, because with BPU, not only do you get the opportunity for someone to review your CV, you also get the opportunity to attend some of these career days,
Yeah.
have conversations with hiring managers and all, people
Hmm.
in the whole hiring space. The other thing has been, that resilience to, okay, I really have to put my best foot forward.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm not doing something right, which is one key area that I've learned. You need to be able to take feedback. You need to be
Yeah.
able to accept that you're not the best on that day, just like a football
Hmm.
match. Sometimes the
Hmm.
team is good, but they're not the best on that day. So on that
Yes.
day they lost
Yes.
the match. Doesn't mean the team is not good, but they didn't do well on that day. So that has been the case. It's not easy. It's painful. It's very disheartening. And sometimes you feel, should I use
Hmm.
the word
Yeah.
depressed, like people always say?
Yeah.
You feel really discouraged because you've put in your best. So I've had cases
Hmm.
where I prepared, I did everything I had to do, but I didn't get the job. What do you do? So you keep at it. It shouldn't determine your identity. It shouldn't determine who you are.
Hmm.
It's just feedback that maybe this is not for you at this time, or
Hmm.
maybe you need to improve in this area, or maybe, there's something that you can always get,
Hmm.
learn from that. And that has
Wow.
been one of the key lessons for me, overcoming the challenge. The other one is trying to be an entrepreneur, which is AKA a contract, because as a contractor, you're an entrepreneur, you run your own business,
Yeah.
the company pays your company.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. You need to be able to build yourself, take feedback. If it's not the right time, you keep at it,
Hmm.
like they say, if you spend, Denzel Washington says something, if you spend so much time in the barbing salon, you definitely get a haircut. So if you keep spending more time, within the ecosystem and places where your ideal customers will be, you definitely get that job, or you definitely get that business. So that has been
Wow.
what has
Wow.
kept me
Wow.
together, and
You
we're
know,
still on the journey.
I really appreciate, you sharing that because this is part of what people need to, yeah, that challenges what you face because nobody, like, except you are sharing it now, nobody will know how many field interviews I know you had, how many applications you submitted. It may be thousands, maybe hundreds, nobody will. But when you are seeing them now, then they can actually know that, okay, their current situation now, maybe someone is applying for a job, maybe like for several months now, is also getting a rejection or she's getting a rejection. Then she can know that, okay, this is just a phase because this person also went through this phase and is doing good now. That means just a matter of time. I should keep on applying, and one day it's just 1 year, they need. That 1 year we cancel several, it may be hundreds of applications, it will cancel everything. You telling them now they will believe, okay, they're actually in the right path. Because some people, when they apply for like maybe 50 jobs and everything was, questions, they may be like, okay, maybe this part is not for me. But actually, the part is for them. But as you said that you were depressed, some most people get, depressed. And some, we even start, doubting their capability. They'll be like, okay, am I good enough? You
Yeah.
understand? But for you to be able to push through that phase is very tricky, and one is a very strategic solution to that. And thank you for sharing that. Like you kept on pushing, even in the entrepreneurship aspect too. It wasn't smooth. You had a rejection before you hit your first, contract, and here you are now. And the journey can only get better because it can only get better. It can never get worse. It will only get better day by day. In as much that we keep learning, we keep, progressing in our day-to-day life, and we still want to learn because if you feel okay, you have arrived, maybe you get something and you feel you have arrived, that means to me, that is the day that you start dying because learning never stops. We keep on learning, and that is, oh man, we keep on learning so that we want to be updated, not outdated.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So, regarding your company, Trillion Digital, I'm very interested in that. What moment, you decided to start your own venture in the UK? Or is it that maybe you have started it in Nigeria, you just continue in the UK, or you started afresh in the UK?
Okay. So I started in Nigeria and
Okay.
then thinking of bringing it over to the UK. One of the key lessons for me was finding the right model and
Okay.
understanding what the market will want, because sometimes when you
Hmm.
copy and paste, it doesn't work. It doesn't suit the
Yeah.
market. So I had to discover that, okay, what are the biggest challenges businesses are facing, founders,
Hmm.
business owners, and all. Two key areas. One is their operations. How can we
Hmm.
make them be more efficient? How can we make them be more streamlined and organized? The other was profitability. How can we make this business get more customers and be profitable? So, and this
Hmm.
applies to any business. So let's break it down into an area that I'm very familiar with and I'm part of, which is the ecosystem, the tech ecosystem. If you are building your startup, you're in early stage, there are two key drivers for growth: usage
Okay.
and subscribers or money. So
Hmm.
how
Okay.
many people are using your platform and how
Okay.
much are you currently generating? Those are the
Submit.
two
Okay.
key drivers. And that is what people put on their pitch. That is what people go to Dragons Den. That's what people do to raise funds. And when they raise these funds, if you watch them carefully or listen to them carefully or check out their plan or their deck, they will always drive it back to marketing. Now, from my own experience, one thing that I realize is a lot of these business founders and all still make the mistake in their marketing because they're not marketers. So they say, oh,
Hmm.
we want to raise money, they get the money, we're going to put it into marketing. They don't understand
Hmm.
marketing, what the things they need to do that will be efficient and give them more returns. They really don't
Hmm.
get it. So what happens for those that succeed, a lot of them wing the marketing, but maybe because the product is good, the people using the product will now spread the word. Now, some
Hmm.
other
Hmm.
founder will use that as a yardstick and say,
Hmm.
company A or startup A grew from this followers to this followers. The product is good. Let me focus on just the product.
Yeah.
Let me not market it. It's not, no, 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 no. You need to build a good product that would be marketable. So your product will be good. You tick the first box.
So
The
market.
second box, the
Okay.
product will be so good that it'll be marketing it will be easy.
Hmm.
But at the bottom line is you need to have strategic ways of marketing that product. And You don't have to do the same thing every other person is doing, but there must be avenue for you to market up. So that's for startup. Now let's go back to local businesses or small businesses or SMEs. It's still the same thing. How can we be more organized? We spend so much time sending emails, doing manual stuff. How can we streamline this process and use things like AI automation to ensure that if I press a button, 5 things would happen at the same
And
time
done.
without me moving from one platform or doing this? That's one. Number two, how can we attract more customers? The businesses that say they don't need more customers really indirectly are saying they don't have the capacity to handle it.
Yeah.
Not that they don't need more customers. So if you run a one-man business, you can say, oh, I don't need more customers because I'm
You
overbooked.
cannot.
That is a
Yeah.
one-man, but that's not scalable. So you need to
Mm.
start from that one-man business and then scale it to where you can now leverage other people's time, skill sets, and creativity
Mm.
to now help you
Mm.
get to your next level so that you work less or you reclaim your time. So those were the things that I saw, and okay, fine. Let's get into the market and help businesses do these two key things: streamline their processes to be more efficient and also increase their sales by boosting their marketing and sales processes. And that's what we've been doing. And we do this through AI, like having things like AI chatbots and voice agents that would help you handle that, streamline that process. So if you run a very small team, you don't have to be the one picking up the phone and talking. And no, you don't have to do that. You can have an AI that will work 24/7 that will help you handle your calls, transfer calls, attend to customers, and even troubleshoot certain things depending on the type of business you run. Or you can have an AI chatbot attached to your website that would attend to customers and also book on your calendar and resolve whatever queries and issues there. Then the other part is also aligning AI with your lead generation or customer acquisition so that once people get in contact with you, AI can start the conversation and then move them to the second or third step in your
Yeah.
funnel. And this applies
Wow.
to several businesses. And the interesting thing is, so many people feel like, no, I don't need it. I don't need it. It's not something you don't need. It's something you need, but you don't know
Yeah.
you don't know yet. Why? This is where the future is. It's not the past. As long as we have things like Siri, Alexa, and all this other, we already have AI. As long as you can look at
Yeah.
your
Sure.
phone and you can get access to your phone by just looking at it through visual recognition, you already have AI. As long as you can go through your favorite streaming platforms and the platform is recommending movies for you
Yeah.
to watch, that's AI already. As long as you can
Yeah.
go to some stores around the world and you can pick things up and leave without you physically going to the counter to pay, that's AI already. As long as you have data sets and the government or whoever can use that to
Yeah.
predict things for you, and even your banks can do, that's AI already. So it's not
Mm.
like you don't need it. You already have it, but you've not opened up your mind to embrace it and leverage this
Mm.
technology. And according to the World Economic Forum report, which everyone saw, is AI and data dudes data are the two biggest skills in the next 5 years. So I totally agree with when you say that data needs no problem. I'm a data guy too. So I'm going into that. So data, so I'm loving data. So are the two biggest skills because data drives everything. Just like when I talked about why I moved from traditional marketing to digital marketing, it was
Yeah.
because of data. Why I'm moving from digital marketing more into AI is because of data and speed. That
Mm.
is the future. AI can help me streamline process, can most importantly help me distill insights from data faster than I could have possibly thought.
Mm.
And these things would help us make the world better.
Better. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Absolutely. You're right. So now I want you to do something for me. Not for me, for someone watching right now because they want to, okay, because you have said a lot regarding, your company. How can they patronize you?
Fantastic. You can patronize us, go to on our website. If you're listening to this, watching this, wherever, you can go to our website, trilliondigital.com, click the contact us button, and you can reach out to us and you can get a free AI audit. So you can book an appointment, get a free AI audit, and then we will look at your business and see how we can help you improve and grow with that. We also have our own my AI assistant, Zoe. So on the website, you can get the number. I think I'll share that with Data Dude so
Okay.
that he can put it in the description. You call that number and you speak to Zoe. Zoe is very amazing. She's pleasant. She works 24/7. She would help you understand the different places where you can implement AI into your business. So you can just tell Zoe. Zoe will ask
Wow.
you questions like, so what do you do? Oh, I'm into data. I'm a consultant. Okay. Zoe will now use that and then give you possible scenarios of how you can use AI in your business. And then
Wow.
if you like to take the conversation further, Zoe would book an appointment on the calendar for us and we'll speak to you.
Wow.
And this is done completely on autopilot. I don't have to touch anything. I don't have to do anything. It is
Wow.
set up once. You speak to Zoe. Zoe is a member of my team. After Zoe passes it to another person on the team, which is Team. Team handles the SMS. So Team will be chatting with you via SMS. And all this is done on autopilot. So I don't need
Wow.
to
Wow.
do anything. And that's how you can reach out to us. And if you are on LinkedIn, you can go to Emeka, just search for Emeka Ebeniro, send me a DM, and I'll definitely hit you up and we can always grab a coffee, do a virtual chat or something and see how we can help you in your business.
Wow.
And one more thing,
Wow.
I need to add this.
Sure.
We're running the biggest personal branding summit in Africa. It's
Okay.
the PBS Global. You can go to pbsglobal.xyz. It's the biggest
Okay.
personal branding summit in Africa. We've been doing this for 4 years. This year is the 5th year. And this
Wow.
year's edition is called The Rise of AI 2. And in this one, we are going to show you how we are using AI to organize the conference. So it's not just
Wow.
bringing speakers. We are pretty much transforming what the possibilities are in how you can leverage AI to the next level in doing things like organizing conference, getting information about the conference. I have a video that's out there where I called the helpline. The AI told me everything about the conference, asked me if I wanted a ticket, and all that is the future. People would begin to call helplines and get information about speakers, conferences, and pay via their phone just by calling a line. People will begin to use AI at the highest level during conference organization and also implementation. And we want to show you how possible that is. So yeah, so
Wow.
guys, pbsglobal.xyz. So go there, register. I would love to see you at the conference.
With that, who can attend the conference? Is it people in Africa? What about people in the Western region?
Everyone. The conference is open to everyone. If you are anywhere in the world, Africa, Nigeria, Scotland. I'm in Scotland. I'm in Glasgow. So I'll be doing it right here. So it's a virtual conference. It's not a physical one. So you see me. This is where I'll be in my office, streaming it live. You know, you'll be part of the conference, and we have speakers from different parts of the world who would also be in their offices and their homes and speaking to you, sharing their knowledge and all that. This came about because of COVID. COVID really opened our eyes to the possibilities. And the same way you can attend a Tony Robbins or a Grant Cardone or any of the big speakers around the world, they do these conferences at the comfort of their homes or their home offices. And that's the same thing we are also bringing to you. So you don't have to leave the comfort of your device. Stay wherever you are. Just register, join the live stream, and be part of it.
Wow, that is brilliant. I'm very sure no one will want to miss, the integration of AI into their business. No one, because it will streamline a lot of manual work and automate everything. I'm an AI person, so I understand the play of everything you're saying, and it's very brilliant for anyone to, embrace. Because it's a different thing to know about AI, but it's a different thing to embrace the innovation into your business. You may not even be a business person, but into your own day-to-day activities. Can use AI to automate a lot of things. And there's something that is funny to me. You are known for saying AI will take your job, but the person using AI might. Can you elaborate on this perspective?
Okay, so I believe that AI in itself will not take your job, but I believe the person using AI will take your job. So what I mean by that is any large language model by itself will not do anything. So if you use ChatGPT, if you use Claude, if you use DeepSeek, if you use Quen, if you use any of those in itself, it will not do anything for you. But the person that knows how to prompt properly will take your job, because if the person is putting together a proposal, a case study, a document, conducting research, because the person knows how to prompt and then knows the right LLM for to get
Yes.
information or to do research. That person will take your job. The person that knows how to integrate different tools, AI tools together, will take your job, not the AI tool in itself. So these are the this is what I mean by that. And it's not just going to be, oh yeah, I know, because I've had several conversations. People say, yeah, we know how to use ChatGPT. We use ChatGPT, but we don't know
No.
how. It's beyond that.
No. It's
So in Trillion, we use what we call the Thrive framework, which is, it's an acronym: transform, harmonize, visualize, and all that. So what that does is we look at your system and then we now analyze, okay, where you are, where you're going to, what can we change? How can we bring this together? Then how can we implement it? And then how can we now manage and also track it? Using that framework would help us understand in your business, what are the things that you need to change? So, for example, okay, content creation. We're a busy business, but our customers need to hear from us, or our investors need to hear from us. How can we create engaging content for our customers? Okay, we can actually use an AI tool that will do research and also create user generated content for us. That means we'll have AI characters that will create the content for us, so we don't have to show our faces, but says the information, uses the product and all that. That is one area. Okay, it could be operations. How do we get meetings, transcribe these meetings, put these meetings into our CRM or into our project management tool, and also prompt people to ensure that they deliver on the tasks that they've been given? You can use an AI tool for that. Or it could be, how can we, which is one of my favorite, how can we overcome this idea of always picking the phones and talking to customers? You can use an AI tool for that. So whenever either e-commerce, consulting and all that, someone calls in and says, hey, I'm trying to track my order, or I want to place an order for this food, or I want to check what's the report on my account, or something of that nature. Those elementary foundational FAQs that people always call. You don't need to be the one to pick up the phone. You can have an AI. So
that's true.
imagine
That's
you
true.
having this AI stack in your business. Not only would you save money, you would have replaced people. So you as the business owner, or you as the professional using this AI stack in your department, definitely has taken over the job of someone that doesn't know how to use AI. Or you go for an interview and they ask you about tools. So let me give you an example. I built an AI tracker. So it's called an AI Facebook campaign management tracker. And what this does is it helps you predict how well your campaign would perform by putting in some parameters. So if you say, my campaign budget for Facebook, I want to run a Facebook ad, and my campaign budget is, let's say, $500, and I'm looking at a conversion rate of 2%, and I'm looking at this. So by the time you put in those parameters, it give you it has a predictive model. It will give you an outcome and tell you, based on these inputs you've put in, your campaign will not perform well. So if your campaign will not perform well, these are the things you need to do. Maybe you need to work on your creative, you need to work on this, you need to work, it will tell you, or you need to work on your budget. So that way, with this tool, as a digital marketer or as a professional, but as someone that wants to use Facebook, I'm not shooting in the dark. I can understand how to use Facebook and also add this tool to my stack. And I'll do better than the other guy that's running paid ads and you just trying. So I can look at, okay, for every time I want to run an ad, if I make these calculations, it gives me an understanding, okay, maybe these are the things I need to change. So I already know what's ahead. So that, for me, gives me an advantage than someone that doesn't have this tool, with him or with her. I would definitely perform better because I can predict, what the performance of my ad, while other person will just go and hope that it will do better. So that's the beauty of AI.
Wow. This is not only brilliant. Okay, I will resume again. So this is not only brilliant, it's awesome, trust me. And you mentioned something that made me smile. That people will say, okay, they know how to utilize ChatGPT. And you were like, no, they don't actually know. It's actually true. Because if I tell someone, okay, the way you use AI is different from the way I will use AI because I know the background of it. Some people just know the front end, but there's something we call playground on all these models. OpenAI has its own playground, Google have its own playground, Amazon Bedrock, all these things. The time that you now understand the basic of prompt engineering, then be like, wow, you now become more crazy about the way you use AI because there are a lot of things that it will open your mind to like, okay, if you can prompt this thing in this way, you can actually get results in this way, which is very fantastic. I always tell people, no matter your role, even if it's just the basic knowledge of prompt engineering, have it. It will help you, in the way of you using AI, using any chatbots. Prompt engineering has a lot of benefits. And if you want to do more, go into the, learn about the large language models, know the background of how you can even change the parameter, how you can fine tune the base model into any agent, learn about land graph, learn about all these things. It will help you. Okay, I think I can use this instead of using Cloud. Maybe I can use maybe Gemini 2.5 or Gemini 2.5 Pro or Flash instead of me using Llama. This thing will make you to be lucrative in anything you do. And thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Trust me, I'm looking towards patronizing your company because we really need that. Because I'm someone that even if I know about this AI, I still have to give it out to professionals,
Yeah.
who have deeper expertise, in this. You understand? Because I don't want to combine software engineering with what I'm doing already. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like I've tried it before. Like, okay, let me combine and software engineering. Like, guy,
That's a
you
lot.
just die. You just get burnt out. Like, I don't want to do that. So I love the idea of a gathering team. Okay, bring your expertise in this area. Let's collide together. Let's achieve a single business, objective. It has always worked like that. Thank you for that and for elaborating on the perspective of saying AI will take your job, but not AI will take your job. Person that not use AI will, it's not the case of even might. It is case of who will take your job
Yeah.
because this is the future now. So to wrap it off, what message would you like to share with someone, who is perhaps feeling stuck in their career or afraid to make a bold move?
Hmm. Hmm. That's a powerful question, and should I say a parting statement? I would say,
Take your time. Take your
yeah.
time.
What would I tell you? I would say this is what I would have told myself. I wish someone had told me
Hmm.
this beyond the "oh, don't worry, it will get better." I think it's not it will get better.
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
it is you need to get better. That would have
Hmm.
been what I'll
The
tell you.
right thing.
So Emeka, 24, 36, 48 months ago,
Hmm.
Emeka gets better. That would be
Hmm.
it's not just, oh, things, no, you need to
Get
get
better.
better.
Get
And you
better.
need
Hmm.
to make up your mind that this is what
Hmm.
you want.
You want. Okay.
You need to make up your mind that this is what you
Hmm.
want. Because it's when you make up your mind and you are committed, not interested, you are
Hmm.
committed to that goal, that is when things will turn around for you. But if you are still deliberating, you're one leg in, one leg out, you're not sure, nothing would happen. But the moment
Hmm.
you make up your mind that this is what I want and I need to get better, to get to that level of what I want, that is when things will turn around for you.
Hmm.
And it's irrespective of the landscape or the climate you find or the location you find yourself. It's about you. Whatever you have decided that you want to do, two things. One, make up your
Hmm.
mind that this is what I want. And two, you need to get better. Why? When you get better, nobody can deny you that you are good at this thing. Nobody
Hmm.
can deny you. One person will
Yeah.
close the door, but once they discover that, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about, you now become the go-to person. So that's what I'll let you know. That CV you have written, find ways of making it better. That interview you are preparing for, find ways of having better interviewing skills. That business you want to start, find ways of making that business better or telling more people about the business and improving based on the feedback from those people. That's what I would
Hmm.
say. So it's not just I've tried. No, You tried. What's the lesson? What was that one thing you need to do? So improve 1%. What can I do by 1% to make it better? Maybe I need to have more conversations with hiring managers or recruiters. They will tell me the truth in terms of my CV and how I appear. Maybe I need to apply in more places. Maybe I need to get to be a volunteer. Maybe so 1% better and deciding, and this is what you want. That is how you will get anything that you truly desire. So that's my word for you.
Thank you for sharing that advice. Trust me, it is very brilliant, and I can relate to what you said. And most of them have worked for me over the years. Trust me, because I'm someone that I always know what I want, just go for it straight. I have this continuous learning mindset, okay, that I want to get better, even if I'm applying for jobs and I get rejection. To me, it's a source of inspiration, okay, that means I still need to get better. That's why they are rejecting my application. But once I get to that point of, okay, no more rejection, people are now, because someone will get to the point that instead of instead of you hunting job, then they will start hunting you.
Yeah.
Recruiter will start sending you DMs. Okay, they wanted to jump on this offer. They love what you are doing. They love your profile. They love your interest. And then okay, I think maybe you have attained a level, but that doesn't stop there, because until you are providing your services to a king, I can say that level, okay, you're not getting there, because if you hasn't providing your service to I just want to use like the language like a civilian,
Mm-hmm.
or you will not know the difference of you providing a service to a king, because the reward will be different.
Yeah.
You understand? The reward will be so different. But till we get to that point, we providing service, to the king, we're sitting down to the kings. You understand?
Mhm.
Then we have actually done some fantastic job, before you get to that level. And I just hope that everyone can have that mindset that you have and get, things done without procrastinating and, doing sort of things like that. And for everyone that want to connect and, continue learning about your journey, and people who have been inspired with your journey, know that you have mentioned about LinkedIn and the name of your company where they can connect with you. Which other way can they connect and follow your work?
Awesome. I'm also available across all social media platforms.
Okay.
Instagram is also at Emeka Ebeniro, and TikTok the same. And I'm on Twitter at Emeka Ebeniro, Facebook Emeka Ebeniro. So
Wow.
it's across all platforms. So yes, just any platform that you are on, I'm most likely there. You can search for me. Check. I do share videos about digital entrepreneurship. That's something I'm passionate about. I believe that the future of the real sense of freedom is that the ability for you to work anywhere in the world, and there are very few
Yeah.
jobs that can enable you do that. AI is one
Yeah.
of them. Digital marketing is one of them. Data is one of them. These are jobs that can give you the true sense. Coaching, consulting is one of them. Give you the true sense of being a digital entrepreneur. So it means that like you're a digital nomad, you can live anywhere in the world. You can work at your
Anywhere.
own time, your own. And I believe I am passionate about that. I share that on my channel, on my platforms, and I also talk about AI. I show you behind the scenes of how I build these AI agents, and all. And I have on YouTube as well. It's also Emeka Ebeniro, so you can go on my
Wow.
YouTube, see
Wow.
behind the scenes, and also yes, I try to practice what I preach. I show up, create these agents, show different use cases, talk about digital entrepreneurship, help other people on their digital entrepreneurship journey. And please, I need to say this, it doesn't mean you should quit your 9 to 5. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you can be a digital, you can love your 9 to 5 and still be a digital entrepreneur, because there's so much that
Yeah.
that there's someone out there that's just wish that if only you could just tell me a little bit about what you know. So like I talked about the Facebook platform that I created, and I want to put it out there for those that want to learn how to run profitable Facebook ads. Can go get this. Once it's out, I'll share the link. Can go get the toolkit, learn everything, use the tracker, the digital tracker, get insight. So agencies can use it, anyone can use it, and this would be of true benefits to them. So these are the things that I'm passionate about, and I share it
Wow.
on my platform.
Wow. 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 Emeka, Ebeniro. That is a good brand identity. Trust me.
Thank you.
It's very good. Thank you for sharing where they can connect with you and everything. And for everyone watching, please, I won't only plead, I'm also advising. Please connect with him. I'm very sure you must have learned a lot from just our conversation. Just now imagine if you are following his journey. Trust me, there will be a lot you will learn because number one, you'll be updated with the industry trend, and also you increase your mind capability of what you can actually do for yourself, not for yourself alone, for your business. Thank you so much. And also, I know that you are a program manager for Novate Up. And please, everyone, join Novate Up if you are in the UK. Please, it's a good place for all entrepreneurs. Trust me, you can't go, you can never be missed, or let me say, you can never go wrong joining Novate Up. I'm a member, so I can testify to that. Thank you so much. So, if today's episode resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to Tech Journey with the Data Dude on YouTube, and also follow us on TikTok and also on LinkedIn. And please, very important, drop a comment letting us know your biggest takeaway and share this episode with someone who needs to hear this story, who needs to be motivated and inspired, who needs strategies, it needs our own journey in life. And our guest for today is Emeka Ebeniro, a very old brand identity. Thank you for sharing your inspiring journey with us today. And next week we'll be diving into another inspiring episode. But until then, remember your tech dreams are very valid. With the right mindset, with the right strategy, anything is possible. Until then, keep living, keep enjoying, keep learning, and keep growing. This is the Data Dude, your host, signing off.